And welcome everyone, thank you very much for tuning in on today's opposition fan preview episode. If you're new around here, want to keep up to date on all things Liverpool related, pre-match, post-match, fan interaction as well, and transfer news, make sure you do hit that subscribe button down below and put your bell notification so you always do get notified when an episode does go live. But thank you very much for tuning in everyone. We've got Anton from YNWA on his thoughts on the upcoming encounter. Make sure you do head over to United's channel anyway. I will be going live on Friday night on their channel. I'll leave the link in the description as well, so you can head over there. But Anton, let's kick it off, mate.
Hey guys, this is Anton from West Ham's Irons United, and I'm delighted here to be doing a video for Jack today. So I'll just get started. West Ham's start to the season has, at the start of the season wasn't that great. We came into the season feeling really confident after how we came back from Project Restart. We had the most informed striker in Mikel Antonio. And then, we didn't want the season to end at that point, but unfortunately we had to take the break, and then we came back and we started off slow, as West Ham normally do, but we've just bounced into form, and we've come up against three or four sides, consecutively, and scored 11 goals against the likes of Leicester, Wolves, Tottenham and Manchester City. And between those four fixtures, have walked out with 8 points, and any West Ham fan would never ever have expected that. But what we've actually got is a little bit of consistency in our West Ham squad and team selection. So something that I've been calling for as a West Ham fan, as have all the West Ham fans been calling for season in and season out, is team selection consistency, and we've not had that. And unfortunately, during these terrible times of the pandemic, it's allowed West Ham to not have the revolving door of players coming in and the players going out. Therefore, we have team selection and consistency in our team selection. We're starting to build the defence, and the defence are getting used to each other, where you normally are capable of conceding a lot of goals, and we still are, but they're getting used to playing alongside each other. So there are positives to be taken from that. What's my expectations of the season? I do fear that West Ham don't have strength in depth. We are overloaded in some areas of the park, like midfield, and we have a lot of number 10s in that area, but we don't have a lot of cover in some of the really important areas, and that's my biggest concern. We never strengthened in our defence in some of the areas that we desperately needed to. So I'm just hoping if we can go through the season reasonably injury-free, I'm going to try and put us in that top 10 barrier, but I'm really concerned if we do get a couple of injuries that could start to turn our season round for the negative. But I need to remain positive because we are on a good run and we do have consistency, and fingers crossed we can keep that consistency going. What do I think our game plan against Liverpool will be? I think we need to take the game to Liverpool. People may laugh at me for saying that, but West Ham are not a team that are designed to sit back. If we sit back, then a team like you guys at Liverpool, whether you've got injuries or not, thrive upon teams sitting back because you get a chance to hold the ball and play football the way that you want to play it. Whereas West Ham are capable of actually holding on to the ball and pressing big teams' defences like your guys, and you are struggling just now with your defence, and that's where West Ham need to, counter your weaknesses. We've got decent ability going forward. We've got the ability to score goals, and we can cause defences problem. And you have definitely got problems in your defence. So I think West Ham need to go and see the weakness of Liverpool and try and press that ball forward as much as they can. So they probably need to commit, and we probably need to sit reasonably high. And I wouldn't be surprised if David Moyes actually does that. And that's how we've been kind of setting up over the last few games. Danger men for West Ham. If Antonio can make it, we're not too sure he is. We think he's injured, and it's going to be unfortunate because I think he's unplayable sometimes. He's so unpredictable, but you can't fault. He's got 11 goals in 15 games since Project Restart, so I don't think you can fault whatsoever remotely his ability, and no defender in the world, because he's so unpredictable. They really, really struggle to manage with him. But players that maybe go under the radar is Thomas Souček. We have found quite possibly one of my favourite players of recent times. He's a box-to-box midfielder. He chips in with goals, but he absolutely covers so much ground in a West Ham shirt. and he came and played at the game where we played Liverpool in Project Restart, where we got beat at Anfield, and he just covered so much ground. He was so effective. He came off injured after 60 minutes, and that's where our game plan changed, unfortunately. So he's definitely one to watch. And another man I would definitely be watching if I was Liverpool fans is Jared Bowen. He made the move from Hull up to West Ham from the Championship to the Premier League. And my word, he is just absolutely phenomenal. He is a threat on the wing. He cuts inside, and he's got so much ability. So he is definitely a really, really big threat for you guys moving forward. Team selection for West Ham versus Liverpool, I'm not so sure. It all depends if Antonio is fit, because what Antonio has done is he doesn't have to run the flanks anymore. He's brought that midfield and that and the striker together. There's not a big gap that we used to see with West Ham anymore. But if Antonio doesn't make it, that's going to be, now we're going to have to see Moyes' plan B, because we've got a record signing on the park, Sebastian Haller. And we're going to have to see if he's going to give him a shot. He's struggling to get into the team just now. And if he is going to give him a shot, are we then going to see some changes in the midfield to try and provide him with service? We've signed that player Ben Rama from Brentford. We've not seen him yet. I don't think he'll start, because I think that would be harsh on some of the players that are currently playing in the West Ham side. But if Antonio isn't fit, I think you may see Sebastian Haller up top, and you may see the rest of the team the same. So that will be Fornals in trying to give him support. He's covering so much ground right now as a West Ham player, and he just needs a goal and he'll be full of confidence. You'll have Jared Bowen on the right hand side. You'll have Soucek and Rice protecting absolutely everything in that midfield. And then you'll have our backline. We're playing 5 in the back, so we've got Masuaku on the wing alongside Sofal on the other side of the wing. Both are tricky players. Both are capable of getting forward. Sofal kind of reminds me of Robertson from your defence. He's good at getting forward, good at crosses, and good at also tracking back. Masuaku is an extreme trickster of a player, so he's not so great coming back, and there could be a negative impact there, but he is good at going forward. Then we've got Creswell, who's jumped in the inside of the defence and moved into back three alongside Ogbonna and Balbuena, who are reasonably solid recently of late. So I definitely think that's probably how we'll line up, of course, with Fabianski in goal. Where do I think Liverpool will finish this season? I have no idea. It's really tough. I mean, I know you've obviously come off a great season last season, and you're starting to find a little bit of form now in the Premier League, but the season's all over the shop. It's all a bit crazy right now, and there is that feeling and sense of vibe that, it goes back to the season when Leicester won the league as well, and you kind of get that vibe that this season has got that potential to be a bit crazy. But I do think you'll be up there. I do think you'll be challenging, and I wouldn't be surprised if you actually go ahead and do win the league again this year. And yeah, so thanks for having me. I'm just going to be confident. I have to be confident. I predict goals all round. I predict that you will score goals, and I predict we will score goals. And some of my predictions this season have come in, and they've been bold. They've been bold predictions, and I'm actually just going to go for a 3-2 West Ham victory. I think you'll score, but I think we'll definitely acknowledge that you've got your weakness in your defence, and we'll go on the full-blown attack there. So yeah, I'm going to go for a 3-2 West Ham victory, and thanks for having me on, Jack. Take it easy.